Stephen Miller is running the White House at this point because I cannot watch another clip of pudding pouring out of Donald Trump's ears as his brain completely declines. Not that it was starting from some strong place and believe that he is in charge or understands what's happening around him. He clearly doesn't. All that he knows is that he wants to cover up his hands so you can't see his decline. But his decline is leaking out of his White House. Not just reports of Stephen Miller's power, but of reports of Donald Trump's very disturbing health secrets, and one that we are going to get into. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button because it goes a long way in supporting our work. Now, before we get into that leak, what is being shared about Donald Trump's very deteriorated health, I want to start with a Democrat who ripped into Donald Trump's demented state. And that was Gavin Newsom right here. Newsom reignites his theory that Trump 79 has dementia. Gavin Newsom is still on dementia watch. The California governor reignited speculations about the state of Donald Trump's mental faculties after the president rehashed a long-debunked claim about the state's response to the devastating Los Angeles wildfires in January. During a rambling speech awarding the Presidential Medal of Freedom to slain conservative activist Charlie Kirk on Tuesday, Trump once again claimed that California's response to the wildfires was hobbled by its refusal to let water come in from the Pacific Northwest. Even though that doesn't connect to the state's water systems. If we didn't go into Los Angeles early on in this administration, we would have lost our city, he said. Now, they already lost 25,000 houses to fire because they wouldn't let the water come in from the Pacific Northwest, which they should have done. I said it. You better do it. They didn't do it. Would you have been a different kind of thing if you did what you were supposed to do? Newsom responded on X, posting a screenshot of an AI search query. Is not having a sense of reality a symptom of dementia? Newsom asked the search engine. Yes, losing a sense of reality, such as perceiving things that aren't real or believing things that aren't true, can indeed be a symptom of dementia, the AI responded. The White House did not immediately return a request for comment on Tuesday. Just last month, Newsom told Grandpa Trump to take your dementia meds after the president made some claims about refusing water from the Pacific Northwest. After Trump ordered NuoMe to turn the rest of the water on, the California Democrat responded by posting a screenshot of another AI chatbot's affirmative response to the question, "Do people with dementia repeat false things over and over again?" In January, Trump became the oldest president to be inaugurated at the age of 78. Since celebrating his birthday in June, the president has faced relentless questions over his health thanks to sightings of bruised hands, swollen ankles, and numerous mental flubs. Psychologist John Gartner told the Daily Beast podcast that he observed a major deterioration in Trump's language skills, motor skills, and impulse control. He used to speak with a high level of vocabulary and very polished paragraphs. Not really, but now what we see is only vocabulary. It's gone down. But there are times when he's really unable to complete a thought. Sometimes he's unable to complete a word. Yes, it's become increasingly clear that Donald Trump is showing signs of decline, politically, mentally, and in overall discipline. What's surprising is how few people in the mainstream media are willing to say it out loud. It often feels like only Lawrence O'Donnell and a few others are honestly acknowledging what's happening. Trump appears more erratic than ever, surrounded by advisors who rarely challenge him and instead reinforce his most extreme ideas. While behind the scenes, they often pursue their own agendas. There was a moment, for example, when Trump reportedly reconsidered large-scale immigration raids after receiving calls from wealthy business owners concerned about the economic impact. Yet, despite that hesitation, people in his inner circle continue pushing those aggressive enforcement policies forward. Among them is Stephen Miller, a longtime Trump advisor who has played a leading role in shaping immigration strategy. Critics argue that his influence over Trump's policy decisions has been deeply problematic, and that he should be held accountable for his role in these controversial actions. And now, questions about Trump's health and decision-making are once again surfacing, with the White House and Trump's team delivering a very particular message about his current condition.
Releasing the president's fitness plan, he actually looks healthier than ever before. Healthier than he did 8 years ago, and I'm sure everybody in this room could agree. Is he working out with Bobby Kennedy? And is he eating less McDonald's?
I can confirm the president is in very good shape, as you see, on a near daily basis here. And in that vein, thank God it's Friday. It's been a very long and busy week here at the White House. We will see you all on Monday, and we will release the results of that report as soon as we can. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you.
Are you really expecting me to believe, Carolyn, that Donald Trump is healthier than ever? The guy covered in bruises, the swollen cankles, the inability to walk straight, the inability to finish his sentence. Donald Trump is in clear decline, and MAGA wants to cover up for it. But there are some close to Donald Trump that are telling some of his health secrets, explaining the reason why he is so puffy, so bloated, and so gross. And it's by describing what Donald Trump is eating on a daily basis. It might disgust you, but it just shows why he is in the condition that he is at this point. Trump ally dishes on the president's utterly twisted McDonald's order. The chairman of the Republican National Committee claims that he knows the president's secret, unique, and totally grotesque McDonald's order. Joe Gruters, a Florida state senator, told a local government podcast that he had never seen anything like it. Gruters was asked, "What's been one of the funniest things that happened to you on the trail?" He replied, "The amount and what the president eats." He had hot fries waiting from him from McDonald's. Then he had a fish fillet, a quarter pounder, and a Big Mac. And I think he combined two of them. Gruters told the chambers changes in conversations. He did not elaborate on which two of the sandwiches were jammed together to create a hideous Frankenberg. He also claimed that he saw the president drinking orange soda, which goes against his usual preference. McDonald's serves both Fanta and High C Orange Lava Burst, but it's unclear which may have tempted him away from his beloved Diet Coke. I'm thinking to myself, how does this guy that's as senior as him get away with eating all this McDonald's on a consistent basis? According to McDonald's own nutrition guide, those menu items total a combined 2,372 calories. Older adult men are generally advised to consume around 2,000 calories per day. Girder said he was sick as a dog after just eating 2 of McDonald's sandwiches during the podcast episode. For everyone out there who's been hoping that this political roller coaster might finally come to an end, there's been renewed attention on Donald Trump's lifestyle and health, and it's raising a few eyebrows. Reports suggest that Trump's daily diet includes fast food staples, things like fish sandwiches, chicken nuggets, fries, and large sodas, sometimes for multiple meals a day. And honestly, it's hard not to react to that. It doesn't exactly fit the image of someone in peak physical condition. Now, to be clear, there's nothing wrong with enjoying a little fast food once in a while. I'll admit, I've ordered late-night McDonald's myself after a long day, maybe even after one too many soft drinks, because sometimes comfort food just hits the spot. But when it becomes a constant habit, especially at Trump's age, it naturally raises concerns about overall health and wellness. And what makes it even more alarming is that at the same time, Trump's team continues to push for deep cuts to healthcare programs, policies that would make it harder for millions of Americans to access care and stay healthy. That's quite the contradiction coming from an administration that once promised to lower costs and expand access. But Trump's diet isn't the only thing fueling discussion about his health lately. CNN's Caitlin Collins recently shared new details that many observers found unusual. And some say it supports growing questions about Trump's cognitive sharpness. Take a listen to what she reported right here.
You never want to be on Air Force One on a trip. And I said, why? Like, you'd think you want to be in the axis of power close to Trump. He doesn't sleep on these trips. And like, you're going to Asia or something, and that's kind of the only time you're going to sleep before you go on this trip.
Yeah.
But Trump is just always up and talking, and he'll like have them go wake staff up if they're asleep because he wants to talk to them. And so we have this big trip to Asia coming up, and you're not going to sleep on that flight.
If millions lose access to healthcare, tens of thousands of people could die unnecessarily every year. That's what's really at stake here. Not political points, but a fundamental human right. Healthcare isn't just policy. It's about whether people live or die. And that's the perspective we'll continue to highlight on this channel, even when others in the mainstream media won't. If you believe in that message and you want to keep these conversations going, make sure to subscribe, leave a like. And if you've stayed with us to the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I will see you soon.